Hey folks, here OS Reviews. So recently we checked out a few lighting accessories from stage laser projectors to ocean wave projectors, and here's another one. It's an LED effect light, which you can find on Amazon for about 25 bucks. It's not too expensive, and it uses a typical LED, so the brightness isn't going to be as strong as, let's say, a laser projector. However, it does have a rather interesting motor that spins the light inside of a mirrored surface. It also features kind of this kaleidoscope-esque surface, so that when it actually is rotating and moving, it does produce an interesting effect. It comes in a few different colors. You can program it. There's also speeds that you can change. There's a mic on board, which is used for sensitivity. So if you clap and there's, let's say, heavy bass in a music, it's going to change the effect of the light every single time it hears a beat, which I think is a rather cool feature. Otherwise, there is also a fan component because the unit does get a little bit hot after you use it for a while, and you can see a bit more info about the size on the sides. So in the box itself, we have just the actual LED effect light. It has a AC power plug, which is on the shorter side of the spectrum, but you can always extend it on your own by purchasing, let's say, a longer power strip. There's also instruction manual on the inside, which is documented both in English as well as in Chinese, and there's also an IR remote, which allows you to control things without using the buttons on the back of the actual light show projector. So here we have a pretty typical remote going on that allows you to turn the unit on or off, change the settings, the transitions, control the flashing according to the music, the beat, and a few preset things, including transition effects as well as the lighting effects. So over here we have the light itself. As you can see, it's made entirely out of plastic, so construction quality could be a little bit better compared to some previous light show devices we've seen in the past, which were made out of aluminum or metal. This one is definitely more lightweight. On the back, there's a 4-inch microphone, an array of ports for power, for plugging in music, and there's also things for changing the modes, selection keys. There's 4 pretty tactile buttons, allows you to go through the various modes, and there's also a small control panel, which is an LCD, that shows off the various modes in different numbers. So to get a more accurate read on those, you have to check out the user manual. It's a pretty bright display. You can still see it in brighter environments, and it has a red glow when it is actually turned on. The sides features access to the fans, which does produce a little bit of ambient sound, so it's not completely quiet or silent during operation. But again, as long as you're playing back music, if you're using this for a party, if you're using this for Halloween, for some type of club, it definitely won't be really an issue because there's going to be background sound and music anyways. On the front here, you have access to kind of the prisms. You can see where the light gets polarized and gets filtered out. And the top also features an interesting hinge, which allows you to hook this up to a ceiling or mount it onto a wall or something like that. This part is actually made out of aluminum and metal. So next we're going to plug this into the wall and show you what the effect is like when the light is. When plugged into power, the light and the fan starts automatically, and the light also has a memory function, so it remembers the last setting that it was in, so when you turn it on again, it starts off at the same animation. As you can see right now, we're in a mode where there's not too much motion going on, but there's a very gentle kind of pulse going between the various lights, and it creates a more dramatic effect as the light gets further away from the source. So if we're looking at, let's say, a wall where the light is being projected at, at a further distance, you can see that the speed seems to be faster. It seems to have a faster oscillation, which is a pretty cool, I think, overall effect. And of course, the speed will get faster and slower depending on the mode that you are in. Right now, we just see 2 colors, the blue and the white. And again, for an LED, I would say this is also fairly bright. We have all the lights in the room turned on right now. You can definitely still see it. And it casts an even glow at a rather wide angle just because of the front here. I would say roughly 130 degrees. So at least it captures up to 3 different walls and 3 different surfaces at one time, which I think is quite impressive. So we're going to go through some of the other modes next. You can kind of hear the fan in the background, so it definitely is noticeable. So for instance, if we have music 1, this is going to beat to the music that you're playing it at. So if we kind of snap, it hears a beat, it's going to light up and flash. Kind of like a strobe effect. Music 2, it's going to be always kind of on and change each time that it hears a beat or heavy music. It also will change automatically after a few seconds, even if it doesn't hear anything. So this is music 2. Music 3 looks like this. It's a multicolor mode. It has a few different lights that flicker on or off. It isn't as dramatic between the transitions. You won't see a huge blink, but it also does change according to the music that you kind of clap to where the bass is at. Finally, we have a flash function down below here, and this is more of a strobing light, which is continuous. So tapping on some of the other presets, which can also be programmed, this is what it looks like. Again, I can change the speed of the motor and also the flashing speed down below here on the remote. That's kind of helpful. So if I tap on the plus key here, I can slow things down or speed things up, depending on what I want. Here's another preset number 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's an array of colors, multiple LEDs, 3 different colors that will light up at once to create these different effects. And overall, it's a pretty compelling, I would say, mini light show projector. So now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like by doing a quick demo once all the lights are off and the unit is on and projected at a wall. At the end of the day, although I don't think the LED effect light is nearly as impressive as the laser projector that we saw a few weeks ago, this is still a compelling buy if you're looking for a holiday light or a piece to light up a stage or some kind of club, because it has that wide-angle lens that allows the light to be spread out at a wider degree and hit more walls and more surfaces than comparable projectors and stage lights I've seen in the past. It also remains fairly portable and affordable and features a slew of different effects which are easy to program and to set up. You can check out more details about this unit in our official written review, but this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.